Hankø Island in Norway is centre stage for the best teams in Europe, set for a week of top-class competition in this most beautiful of venues. The island of Hankø, just over an hour's drive from the capital Oslo, has been the home of sailing regattas in Norway for over 100 years. The organising committee have spent a long time preparing this event and through difficult COVID-affected times.
So finally we're here and looking forward to a marvelous event. Beautiful locations, nice weather, expecting all right with breeze and exciting competition. This is a European Championship for big boat, keelboat sailing. We have 65 boats entry from all over Europe. This is for many crews. This is the top target for the season. Today is the probably most stressful day for all crews. I spoke to one of the skippers and he said, well, this is like the big exam when you work on and this is it. And this is pretty much the feeling right now, that you can prepare, but on Monday morning at 10 o'clock it all starts and then we are off.
There are 3 different class divisions racing this week and many different types of yachts, but all under the same rating system.
This regatta is the ORCi International European Championship. The ORCi rating systems is allowing very different boats to race together on the same race course and to be scored with a handicap. To be possible to give a handicap to a boat, you need to measure its characteristics, both underwater and also the aerodynamics out of the water. When you are able to predict the speed of that boat, both in very different wind condition and wind angles, then you can predict which time would be the correct time for that boat in that race. And you are able to compare these times for different type of boats. In the margins of the scoring, we have results with separation of seconds, 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 6 seconds. It means that this handicap system is having results that are very close.
Now we have had a couple of days with the technical checks of the boats and preparations, and the race week is starting today with a long offshore race, and then we will have 2 days of inshore racing and 1 day of a short offshore race and final day of inshore racing on Saturday.
We are at Hankø in the south part of Norway, close to the Swedish border. So it's been racing here since 1900 or something. It's a very famous Norwegian place for boat racing.
This club, the Hankø Yacht Club and its cooperation with KNS is really critical for promoting the sailing sport in Norway and also internationally. We know that quite well, and I think the image and the values of Mills aligns well with a healthy outdoor sport like sailing. So to be able to support an event like this is fantastic.
Today we're going to do the long offshore race. We're going to have be out for around 36 hours, starting here at Hankø, sailing north up in Oslofjorden, then southern part of Oslofjorden, over to Sweden, and then up to Hankø again, and then back almost to Sweden again, and then back to Hankø.
The conditions at Hankø it can be anything, but it's well known for a windy condition. And the race course, we have the largest river in Norway running out just south of the race course, so it's a lot of current that are combined with the sea current, so it's a very tricky course. The current can be from any direction, so it's very important that you check the current every day.
And after all of the preparation and planning, finally the first day of competition begins with the Mills Long offshore race, which could take up to 36 hours.
We're about 10 hours into the race. I just had my first break. It it's perfect racing conditions for our boat. So I hope this will keep up and we have a good racing in the night.
And the hours pass quickly.
Yes, now the boats have been sailing for quite some hours. And they are now, the first boats are now crossing the border to Sweden actually. They will start arriving here sometimes after 2 tomorrow afternoon. The race goes on for more than 30 hours, so I guess that most of them will have some kind of watch system that they rotate on doing the work on board, because everyone has tried to stay awake for 36 hours and be sharp is probably agreed that it's a good idea to have some relief.
Late in the day, the wind is up and conditions are testing.
Now they're getting close to sunset, the wind is getting a bit free. It's more difficult to turn, more difficult to steer. Weather forecast is very light for the night. The navigational wise not easy through all the islands, so it's an exciting night. There will be no sleep for sure.
Next morning, and the teams have had mixed success through the night. In Class C, Team Pro4U take victory on corrected handicap. Class B winners are Finland's Shinny Freedom, and in Class A for the largest yachts, it's Katima from Germany who look to claw back the win after corrected time.
It was a nice race. We had a lot of fun. So far the results are not finalized, but we are quite confident that we could have some nice results here.
So we had a great race today. Our tactics worked out perfectly and the boat speed was great and the crew did a great job. So we had a very good day. That's what it's all about. Enjoying the time here.
German teams filled the top 3 in Class A after the final handicap times were applied, while in Class B it's Finland first, then Sweden, and one of the strong Estonian teams, and in Class C, Sweden's Team Pro4U are confirmed as winners. In order to ensure the teams sail the correct course and for viewers to follow online, each yacht has a race tracker aboard, transmitting their position.
TrackTrack is a system that uses trackers that broadcast the positions of the boats, and then there's software that takes that and puts it into graphic format so that spectators can see where the boats are on the race course. It's a small device that is basically the size of a mobile phone, and it's in a plastic bag so it doesn't get wet. For offshore races, the race committee would otherwise not have an easy way of tracking where the boats are. So it gives them some advanced planning options. If they start seeing, for example, the weather change and they're thinking about making a course change, they would know this and know how to plan for this by using this tracker.
5 Estonian teams have made the long journey to Norway to compete, including last year's Class C ORCi World Champion.
This is Racing Yacht Matilda 4 from inside. This is the normal inside look when we go out to the sea. It's full of sails. We have 3 different jeeps for upwind, 4 different spinnakers for downwind, and regarding the wind situation, we choose the right one. We have some hydraulic system here. This will help us to adjust the trim of the mast, so the stronger the winds get, the more pressure we put to the mast. It helps the boat to perform better. Everybody can think that there's a sleeping room also, but there is no sleeping in this kind of races. This 24-25 hours of races, usually you do it in one bush, and we need all the crew on the rail. So no sleeping in this boat. We come a step back. This is a typical navigation table, but today racing navigation always done up there on the rail. Body weight of the crew is always on the right position. We have a sink, but while you are racing there is no water in this. All the water we have are on bottles as a drinking water. And basically that's it. What you can see inside, a lot of spare line, spare parts in the different drawers, stuff for emergency, let's say to fix some sails, if there is any VHF problem, spare antenna, fire extinguishers, all this kind that it needed to be safe also, and long offshore races we also have a life raft on board.
After a day of rest and repairs, it's time for the start of a series of inshore races that will test the crew's boat handling, tactics and navigational skills. Set around the beautiful islands, classes A and B will race the same course, which is a windward-leeward course, while the smaller yachts in Class C will sail a slightly shorter one. The wind is a good 12 to 15 knots southerly, and so perfect conditions lay ahead.
We had a nice sleep this night and we recovered properly from the offshore. So the boat is in good shape and good condition, so I feel us very good prepared for today's racing.
I think it's going to be interesting. The wind is picking up in the afternoon, so we will have some good intense fighting, I think, and it will be fun. It's always nice conditions here, so I'm very much looking forward to it.
The three classes begin with 3 separate starts, and these first close-up encounters show the high level of boat handling skills as they round the marks, at times almost touching each other. In Class A, Michael Berghorn's Haupttrocken 4.5 team win all 3 races, while another German team, Intermezzo, enjoys a good day in Class B with a win and 2 second places. Class C, however, has 3 different race winners, showing just how close this contest is.
An inshore race is a BMG upwind and downwind, so it's very tactical because the fleet is closer together, so you meet the other boats way more often, and it's tight racing. Every second, every meter counts.
It's much more intense with the shorter inshore races, and you're closer to other boats, more maneuvers and more things happening. And offshore race is more like long distance running, and this is more like sprint.
Haupttrocken has a clear lead in Class A after 4 races, Intermezzo tops Class B, and in Class C, Katarina II edges ahead of Matilda 4. There are 2 all-female crews taking part, and for one, this is their first major regatta.
Team Rebella was, actually we picked up that name, but last year there was this arrangement here with J70s, and they were talking about this European Championship and that they should have more women sailing. And the boat owner, Mike, he said, you can use my boat. And the KNS got together and made up the whole project to get more women in Norway to learn how to sail big boats and to be comfortable with joining regattas like Europeans, World Championships. Well, we are a mixed team. Some of them have never sailed before. They hardly knew how to pull a sheet. Some of them have family boats, have been a lot out sailing, but not really a competition. And some are old dinghy sailors, and they know the rules or they know the trimming nicely. So it's a very wide range of handling ability. We came here to build a team, to have fun and to learn. And we really did. A lot of people have seen when we came in here after the first training on Sunday. We had a really big trouble with the spinnaker. It was all around the forestay. And it looked like this. And Monday we started racing. There were no big mistakes this week, and that was lovely. Yesterday when we were sailing from Fredrikstad and back here with the spinnaker, we were doing 11 knots. And everybody was just like, yoo-hoo! It was great.
2 further short inshore races are planned for day 3 of the regatta, so by the end of the day there could be some significant changes in the rankings as teams can discard their worst result.
We're excited about today. Yeah, we had a great day yesterday with a 1, 2 and 2, which we're obviously very happy about and hope we can keep it up today. We push the same whether it's a 2 races day or if it's a 24-hour race. So we're pushing the whole way around, otherwise I don't think you win out here. It's a pretty tough competition and you got to push for every second, as we see in the results. So it's super close.
On the water again, Classes A and B sailed the same course, while Class C has a slightly shorter track, all taking place to the south of Hankø Island, with the wind ranging from 14 to 18 knots. As expected, it's super tight competition, and in Class A, the leading teams continue to dominate the top 3 places. Michael Berghorn's Hauptrocken team again enjoys a clean sweep of wins, but is still under pressure from Germany's Imagine and Jokerman from Norway. Class B's action sees start line recalls, however the 2 Landmark 43s Intermezzo and White Shadow are ahead of the fleet, each earning a race win and a second place. Similarly in Class C, 2 teams are frontrunners, as Katarina II from Estonia and Matilda IV from Sweden also swapped first and second places in the 2 races.
It was tricky conditions. Wind was increasing a lot, and which was of course nice. You get more action, on the water. And but at times, at the end in particular, it dropped a lot, and makes it the life exciting for the trimmers to adapt to new conditions. Good racing, great racing, and a lot of fun. Adrenaline in the veins, and the way it should be.
Hauptrocken has a 10-point lead in Class A, Intermezzo has a 3-point margin in Class B, while in Class C it's even closer between Katarina II and Matilda IV. When racing finishes, the measurers move in, as checks are made on yachts to ensure they are staying within their certified handicap.
To keep the competition fair, we believe it is not only important to have a rating certificate, that is your handicap, before the race, but to have a technical committee present in the race so that we can check the first 3 boats of each class every day if they are complying to their certificate. So we do random checks. One boat we check the crew weight, one boat we check the sail measurement, all the type of sails they had on board, and so on. And some other boat we check freeboards and righting moment.
Basically the procedure is that we measure whatever is selected to be measured, and then if there is any difference, we rerun a test certificate for that boat, and if there is the difference in ratings less than 0.1%, everything is okay. If there is between 0.1 and 0.25, there will be no penalty for the boat, but the new certificate will be applied, and this may affect rating. Between 0.25 and 0.40%, there will be 50% scoring penalty, and if there is a bigger difference, then the boat may be disqualified. We are doing this because we want to be sure that the boats that are winning correctly, that they are fully in compliance in their rating certificates, because this is how their results are calculated. We saw in the races yesterday that you can have very close corrected times, even the same times for the first place. So this is very important that we be sure that the result of this measurement is affecting the results, and we really want to be sure that boats that are winning are fully in compliance with their certificates.
There's a brief delay next morning due to fog and light air, allowing teams a brief respite ashore, with the racing scheduled to begin just before midday in the Mills Short offshore race. The usual southerly thermal breeze begins to build, with classes A and B on a racetrack of 49.1 nautical miles and Class C a little shorter at 43.3 nautical miles.
Yeah, so we're going to be sailing for roughly 10 hours. We hope to do it even shorter. We will be starting some pretty light breeze, and then hopefully it'll pick up as we go. We're sailing against some fast boats, so they'll probably get an advantage towards us there, but we're confident in the light breeze, so it should be good for us too.
Racing in the Oslo Fjord is always difficult, but this is going to be really challenging with the choices where to go, and we also have shore or islands in the rum line, so to go inside or outside, a lot of tactical questions on the way.
It's another long day on the water where tactics, navigation and solid crew work are essential, taking into account the current around the many islands they must pass.
We started with a very light wind today, and it was really hectic the first few miles. I think the most important thing in the first upwind was the current. Everybody tried to be so close to the island as well, and this made the first big difference today. After that, it was pretty much one island on the downwind, so one group decided to go left, one right. But after that, it was quite straightforward trimming and speed.
Today was perfect racing day with perfect weather. We do everything very right, no tactical, no technical mistakes, and we believe that we are between three best boats today.
Class A winners were the Norwegian team on Jokerman, while in Class B, the crew on Olympic from Estonia moved to third after their victory, and in Class C, Sweden's Team Pro4U edged the win to close the gap, but it's very close in all of the classes as the teams get ready for the final day of racing. So the scene is set for the last day of this top-class international regatta in Norway and the final chance for teams to shine in a make-or-break last inshore race.
Today we have the last day of the championship. We have only one race today on both courses. Weather looks very nice. There are already blowing a nice breeze out there, and I'm sure that we will have a very good finish of the whole event.
There's an air of excitement and tension as the teams leave the dock for the last time. The battle is fierce around the racetrack in every class, bow to bow around the marks, using every gust and wave to gain an advantage over the opposition. It's a perfect day of competition to finish with, and in Class B, Intermezzo clinches the ORCi European Championship title.
It has been a fantastic week of sailing. It cannot be better. It's ORCi sailing at its best. It's a beautiful venue. It's an outstanding place to sail outside. And obviously I'm very, very proud of my team. They did a fantastic job. And by the way, we had 8 races, 8 times lime on us. That's something of its own. So I'm very proud and very, very happy.
In Class A, winning every inshore race, it's the German team Hauptrocken, who are victorious with 6 race wins.
It feels great. It was really a nice series. We managed to get 6 bullets. One is discarded, so to discard the first place, it's quite a nice feeling. So we are really, really happy about that. All the training we did this year paid off, and this was really, really a nice event for us. Great success for the whole team.
Winning today to seal their 3rd ORCi European title, the crew of Katarina II from Estonia.
Today we raced without any pressure and it was really funny. We sailed to honoring the race committee and the organization of this fantastic championship. Nothing better than this.
A gold medal winning week for Hauptrocken 4.5, adding the ORCi European title to the ORCi World Championship won last year. Just a point separated the top 2 in Class B after a glorious week of competition, with Intermezzo's crew claiming the gold medals. And Class C sees victory for Estonia's Katarina II on their Arkana 340 ahead of Matilda 4. So after a memorable week on Hankø Island, it's time for everyone involved to come together and celebrate the achievements of all at the awards ceremony. It's their crowning moment of glory, where the top 3 received their medals in each class.
Thank you to you, the sailors, that made this event a great event. It was a wonderful week and a mixture of conditions that are not easy to find around the world.
Sweden's Pro4U are awarded the Corinthian Prize in Class C as the top non-professional team. In Class B, it's the crew of Olympic from Estonia. And in Class A, the German team on X Day. The crew of Katarina II come to the stage to receive their gold medals as class winners. This Estonian team sailing their Arkana 340 design yacht superbly through the week. In Class B, Germany are victorious. and the crew of Intermezzo delighted with their medals after guiding their Landmark 43 to top place through the week. On to the larger boats in Class A, and the dominance of the hard truck and 4.5 crew from Germany sees them awarded the coveted gold medals in their custom Mills 45 yacht, winning the 6 inshore races. Without doubt, the natural beauty of Hankø Island proved an ideal setting for the regatta. The champagne sailing conditions for the teams throughout the week, offering world-class ORCi racing, and all superbly organised by the Royal Norwegian Yacht Club.